Welcome to the do-it-yourself homemade herbal incense. What you're seeing now is a span of the items that I pulled out in advance to be ready so when I start to make it. What you see here is a combination of herbs, dried herbs, that you can get from your local store. You probably already have in your cabinet. But also, there are some essential oils that will be added at the end of the process to make it smell all good, because dried herbs by themselves don't really smell that good. So you have to make it smell good with some essential oils. So anyway, that's just it for now, and then we're going to go into making it. What we're going to be using today, or making today, is a prosperity incense. What we're going to be making today is a prosperity incense filled with herbs that attract a prosperity and other herbs that are just for good vibes and, uplifting vibes and high spiritual vibes. So starting with here, you have frankincense, and you have myrrh, which are your base resins that we're going to be using. Then we go over here, then you have chamomile, cinnamon, some dragon's blood, alfalfa leaf, dillweed. Let's see, what is this here? Allspice, lavender, and basil. And last but not least, bay leaves. And what you have all the way over here is containers that you could use once you're done, because it's going to be a powdery incense, or powder-like incense, not all the way powder, but very, very close. You can either put it in a mason jar or one of these tin cans. And then over here, I have my essential oils lined up. All of them either have to do with prosperity, attraction, and uplifting. And there may be one or two in there just to make it look good. Smell good. So anyway, you have rose, essential oil, bergamot, essential oil, palmarosa, lavender, basil, and peppermint. And so, we're going to, along the way, you'll figure out how much and what you're going to put in, and all of that as you go by, because along the process of doing this, you will be checking to see if you like it, and then you'll add more of what you want to have more of when the time comes. Other tools that you will need will be, this is a mortar and pestle. They have some in wood. You will also, this is a small one. I will be using this big one, but they have smaller ones. So I just wanted you to know that. I use the big one because I like to make a lot. So so I don't have to make it often. And the other thing that you will need is an incense burner, fire protective incense burner. You will need also one of these coals, charcoals, because along the way you will be testing the incense. So you'll light this up once you get started. A spoon to scoop out every so often onto the coal. And this is a small, the tiniest measuring spoon that you have for the oils, so that when you add them, you can know. I like to do equal parts, because when I'm remembering the recipe, if I'm not writing it down, then I know I used equal parts of this, or I, halved it or whatever. So here we go. So that's the smallest one I have on hand, is a 1/4 teaspoon. But this is a no measurement process, because I do it by feel. So I go with what I'm feeling, and that's how it is. So here we go. Now first, I like to set up the mood, set up the prayer. I do a prayer. Some people cast a circle. Some people do a protection, whatever, they get into the zone, connect with spirit. Whatever it is that gets you into that feeling like you want to connect with spirit, spirit realm, because this is a spiritual process that you're making, because you're combining these herbs for the purpose of magnetizing a certain energy, making that energy more present in your life. So you want to always make it sacred and spiritual. So then, what I usually do is either say a quick prayer, or and when I'm using each herb, I thank each herb and I say, thank you, please put in your most potent energy into this mix for the purpose of, and in this case is prosperity. And so we keep it like that. And then each herb, I kind of put some in my hand, talk to it, and then put it in the mix. Or you can bless them all at once. You can activate it, because what you're doing is aligning yourself with the spirit of the herb, which is what is actually the most powerful part of it. And you're saying, you know, I call upon you to be in alignment with what I'm doing and put that most powerful juju energy into this mix that I'm about to make right now. I have a prayer that I use on occasion, but I'm going to use it for this video. Well, it's done in Yoruba, and I hope I'm saying the words right, but I'll do it in Yoruba and English so we understand what's going on. Ibashe Egun, I pay homage to the spirit of the ancestors. Ibashe Ori Ewe, I pay homage to the spirit of the leaves. Ire Alafia, the good fortune of peace. Ire Lera, the good fortune of a stable home. Ire Ori Re, the good fortune of wisdom. Ewe Modupe Ashe, leaves, I thank you, so be it. Ashe, 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 O. So now that we've opened up with a prayer, and now we get to making it. So first I like to start with lighting up the charcoal and having it hot and ready. I like to use tongs so I can really get this charcoal into the fire and make sure it lights up, because sometimes these charcoals can be hard to get going. Okay, now that the charcoal is going, I'm going to start taking my herbs one by one and putting them in. This is frankincense. I start with that. I start with the resins as a base. Take about that much. And then I do my blessing, and then I put it in. And the next herb is myrrh. Myrrh. Put it inside. Now, if you notice, frankincense and myrrh, that's a very basic herbal resin combination, and it has deep roots all over the world. Frankincense and myrrh is known to elevate the spiritual energies. Frankincense is very high spiritual energy. It cleanses and invites in the high spiritual energies at the same time. And myrrh is very sacred because it brings or opens up the portals to the spirit realm. So you're doing frankincense to uplift the energy and myrrh to expand and open the portals of the energy so it comes through. So the kind of energy you want is in the frankincense, and the myrrh is the activator to make sure that those portals are open and you're bringing in what you want. Okay, next after that, a little bit of chamomile. Do it like that. Now, you don't want to go too far. I put the first 3 in, and you want to start to crush it. It becomes a lot of work if you wait and start putting everything in. So you want to layer it. Put a cloth under there so it's not so noisy. And you can be praying and making sure that you're thinking about the energy that you're invoking, and you're pouring into this incense, your own ashe, your own energy, your own power, to make sure that it's as potent as possible. Okay, next up is cinnamon. I have the sticks this time. Feel free to use the powder so it's not as labor intensive. Break it up first. Next we have alfalfa. Put about that much in. You know, and you just keep layering it until you used all the herbs. Dragon's blood. You have dillweed. Right, so I'm just gonna put a little bit on the coal because it will go out if you don't have something to keep it going. All right, this is what it's looking like so far. I'm gonna crush it up some more. You have allspice, which is the whole berry spice, allspice. This time just a little. Okay, right now the smell of it is very, very earthy, which I don't mind actually. Some lavender. That's for peace and calm, and it does have a quality of abundance as well, but it's not, that's not the main energy of the herbs. So what you'll notice with herbs is that they have their main functions, and then, you know, their extra functions that aren't as dominant in the herb, but they still bring that energy. We have basil, about that much. And if you want more, because we know basil has strong prosperity, you can put some more. Positive arena, I like to go in a clockwise motion. Then take a couple of bay leaves and then crush them up. Put them in there. Thinking all along about bringing in the money, chanting your money chants, thinking about the prosperity, visualizing all the good things that prosperity will do, how you're gonna feel, your emotions, put it all in there. You know, whenever we make something, we are putting our own personal energy into it. All right, now I'm gonna take this and kind of pick off the dust because it starts to pile up there. Then I'll put a little bit more on just to see where we're at with the aroma. Okay, it's very, very earthy. Not too much sweetness going on there. Here we are. So we have rose. Measure out. Have that, and then let's pour it in there. I like rose, so I'm gonna put a little more in there. We have bergamot. And like I was saying earlier, all of these oils have prosperity element to them. And I just picked these out just by feeling, you know, by knowing what the properties that they have. And also the oils in particular because of their aroma as well as their energy. Take a little whiff, just so you remember what it smells like before you put it in to see if you really want to add it. So the ones that are, if I wanted to smell very florally or sweet, I put more of those type of aromas in there. And so now I'm gonna test it. I'm gonna just mix it around, all right? Now the way to know what it smells like now is you take a little bit and you put it on the burning coal, and then you see what it smells like. All right, that's not bad at all. We're getting there. I definitely want to still put in the lavender. I'm also going to put more of this because it smells sweet and it's a calming energy. So you know, you want prosperity, but you want to feel good too. You're coming in, you're feeling confident and calm and elevated and happy. Okay, knock off, you know, the stuff that's, you know, because after a while when it burns so much that it gets just to be burnt, so it's no longer smelling good. So then, now that we've added the lavender, see what that smells like. Okay, that's smelling really nice. All right. Okay, now these last two, mint is prosperity, basil is prosperity. We're gonna put just a little bit of these in, just one, because we mainly want the energy more so than the aroma, but it does kind of elevate and pick up the aroma a little bit because it has a punchiness to it. And there you have the mix. Okay, so now you have your powder mix. Now you can leave it there and burn a coal, and put it on top of the coal and have it like this. Now what I like to do, at some point I discovered that I'm not necessarily, because I don't want to have to put the coal out every time I'm finished with it smoking. So I said, well, hey, why don't we just add a coal into the actual, crush this up inside and see if it self-lights. And it works. So here we go. We're gonna, let me just break it up a little bit first. Put it in there. You know, depending on how much incense you have, you know how many you would put in there. So I think one will be enough for this one. And we crush that up. Just look at the dark color of that. That means there's a lot of oil in there. So it may have to, you might have to leave it out overnight just to let it dry out some before you put it in a container. Okay, so we're gonna take my little cauldron here and put some in on its own. And let's see. And once it burns a little bit, the flame, and then you blow it out gently. And it self-lights. So there, you don't have to use a coal. It lights up on its own. And you can just pull it out of the bag and put it in an incense burner and light it up. If you like this video, hit the like button. Share it with those people you think will enjoy this video as well. And also subscribe and hit the bell so you'll know when I put up another one.